Picture this, scorching desert sun. A lone figure treks through the sand. He's got no water, his lips are cracked, but he has a trick up his sleeve. He finds a dead camel. Not ideal, right? But wait, he crawls inside the carcass. It's a desperate move, using the camel as a shelter from the sun. Sounds crazy? It is. But this technique, believe it or not, has saved lives. The desert, the Arctic, the jungle, these places are brutal. They test the very core of human resilience. But they also reveal something incredible: our ability to adapt and survive against all odds. The wild throws everything it has at us: extreme temperatures, scarce food and water, predators lurking in the shadows. It's a constant battle for survival. But humans, we're a resourceful bunch. We've been surviving in these unforgiving environments for millennia. We use our ingenuity, we use our knowledge, and sometimes we use some pretty unconventional methods to make it out alive. This is the world of extreme survival tactics. The desert, a vast ocean of sand and scorching sun. Water is scarce, dehydration is a killer, but humans have found ingenious ways to quench their thirst. One method: following animal tracks. Animals often know where to find water, even in the driest landscapes. Birds circling overhead, for example, can signal a water source nearby. Tracks leading downhill or converging might lead to a hidden spring. Another unusual technique is using a plastic sheet to collect condensation. It's simple but effective. Dig a hole in the ground. Place a container at the bottom. Cover the hole with the plastic sheet, securing the edges with rocks. The heat will evaporate moisture from the ground. This condenses on the underside of the sheet and drips into the container. It's not much, but in the desert, every drop is precious. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Some desert communities have turned to a rather unconventional source of hydration: the cactus. The prickly pear cactus, in particular, holds a surprising amount of water within its fleshy pads. But be warned, not all cacti are created equal. Knowing which ones are safe to consume is crucial. The wilderness can be a harsh and unforgiving place. Food is often scarce. Finding sustenance becomes a matter of life and death. But even in the most desolate environments, nature offers a surprising bounty, if you know where to look. Take the Arctic tundra, for example. It seems barren and lifeless, yet the Inuit people have thrived there for centuries, relying on their deep knowledge of the land and its hidden treasures. One of their most surprising food sources is the muskox. These massive, shaggy creatures are well adapted to the cold. They provide a vital source of protein and fat, but hunting them is no easy feat. It requires teamwork, skill, and a healthy dose of courage. The Inuit use traditional hunting techniques passed down through generations, ensuring the sustainability of this precious resource. In the dense jungles of the Amazon, indigenous tribes have learned to exploit the rainforest's incredible biodiversity to their advantage. They know which plants are edible, which insects are safe to consume, and how to catch fish in the murky waters. One particularly ingenious technique involves using a plant-based poison to stun fish, making them easy to collect. This method, while seemingly unorthodox, allows them to fish sustainably without harming the delicate ecosystem. Out in the wild, shelter isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It shields us from the elements, offers protection from predators, and provides a psychological haven. But finding or building shelter in extreme environments requires resourcefulness and a touch of ingenuity. The materials might be unconventional, but the goal is always the same: survival. In snowy landscapes, the Inuit people have perfected the art of building igloos. These temporary shelters are made entirely of snow and ice. They provide surprisingly effective insulation against the biting wind and freezing temperatures. The key lies in the dome shape and the careful packing of the snow, creating a surprisingly comfortable and safe haven. In dense jungles where the ground is often damp and insects abound, some tribes build their shelters high above the forest floor. They construct tree houses using vines, branches, and large leaves to create elevated platforms. These structures provide protection from ground-dwelling predators and offer a welcome respite from the humid undergrowth. Even in arid deserts where natural shelter is scarce, humans have devised innovative ways to create temporary homes. One such method involves utilizing the shade of a large rock or cliff face. We've seen incredible feats of resourcefulness. We've witnessed the power of knowledge passed down through generations. But there's another element to survival, something even more profound: the indomitable human spirit. It's the will to live, the refusal to give up, That often makes the difference between life and death. Take the story of Poon Lim, a Chinese sailor who survived 133 days adrift on a life raft in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean during World War II. His ship had been sunk by a German U-boat, leaving him with minimal supplies and no land in sight. He caught fish with a makeshift hook fashioned from a nail. He collected rainwater in a canvas sail. He even kept his spirits up by reading a book he found on the raft. Another incredible tale is that of Julianne Kupka, a 17-year-old girl who survived a plane crash in the Peruvian rainforest in 1971. She was the sole survivor, stranded in the jungle with a broken collarbone and deep cuts. She followed a stream for days, battling hunger, exhaustion, and the constant fear of being lost forever. These extreme survival stories aren't just tales of adventure, they're lessons in resilience, adaptability, and the power of the human spirit. They remind us that we're capable of far more than we often give ourselves credit for. The skills and mindset needed to survive in the wild can be applied to everyday life, helping us overcome challenges and achieve our goals. Resourcefulness, for example, is essential in both scenarios. Just as a survivor might use a piece of debris as a tool, we can learn to be creative and resourceful in our own lives, finding solutions and making the most of what we have. Adaptability is another crucial skill. The ability to adjust to changing circumstances, to improvise and think on our feet, is invaluable in both the wilderness and the concrete jungle. Perhaps the most important lesson from extreme survival is the power of the human spirit. We've journeyed through scorching deserts, navigated icy tundras, and trekked through dense jungles. We've witnessed the incredible lengths humans will go to survive. But these stories are more than just tales of survival. They're a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the unyielding will to live that burns bright within us all. So the next time you're facing a challenge, remember the lessons learned from the edge. Tap into your inner survivor. Embrace your resourcefulness, adapt to the circumstances, and never, ever give up hope. The human spirit is capable of extraordinary things. Let these stories of survival ignite the fire within you, urging you to push your own boundaries and discover the incredible strength that lies dormant within. Now it's your turn. Share your stories of extraordinary survival.